Hi Sabrina, hi T. I'm gonna let everybody come on in here. Hi Lex, hi Brooke, hi Parpar, hi Joey, hi Kiki. Lex, let me know in the comments, are you the same Lex that's in our study group that was confused about the question we posted regarding the chemical solutions yesterday? Let me know if you are the same Lex. Yes, that's you. Yay. Okay, so like I said in the comments, we're going to do a question like that at some point in today's session, okay? I did not forget about you. So while we let everyone join on in here, I know we have some emails going out notifying people that we're live. You're welcome, Lex. We're just going to take a few seconds to let everybody join in here, just another minute. I'm going to have two special things for you guys today that's a little bit different. The first thing is that at some point in the live, I think after question 5 or 6, I'm going to share with you guys a cheat sheet and basically a checklist of everything that you're going to need to study specifically to the chemistry section. I know that in the last time we were live on Monday, that came up in the comments, what all do we need to study for chemistry? So I created a cheat sheet. I printed it out, so I will have it up and we will go over it in between our questions. So you can take a screenshot of it when it comes up. And if you want, I can also include it in the replay link. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like me to send it out in the replay link. Okay, so I'm just going to wait one more minute. And then towards the end of today's live, we're going to do an A and P question that's going to test your understanding of diseases. And after we go through that particular question for A and P, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the diseases that you need to be studying that might come up on your TEAS exam, okay? So we've got two bonuses. We're going to throw in that chemistry cheat sheet, a few questions in, and then we're going to talk about the diseases. Sabrina says, yes, please send out the cheat sheet. I would like that. Okay, you got it. Curly Head says yes. Hi, Chris. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Mountain. Nice to see you again, Mountain. I don't think you were on when we were together on Monday, but I remember you from Wednesday, so welcome back. All right, guys, and before we head into the first question, I wanted to let you guys know that something exciting has happened. Our book, hi Jasmine, hi Amy, hi Fadi. Fadi is 4 for 4 with these sessions. Hi Fadi. I want to let you guys know that our book has made it to the TikTok shop. All the questions that we're going to go over today comes out of our book. And I believe if you buy the book off of TikTok, you get free shipping and you automatically get 30% off with your TikTok shop discount. And it makes the book like $24. So yeah, that's the exciting news for today. Just failed mine today with a 51. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your required score? You can always do a retake. ATI lets you take it 2 weeks after. You just want to make sure that you get in touch with your program to see what their minimum window is. A 58. Okay, so just give yourself a few more weeks to study, and you're going to be all set. All right, guys, so it's 6:04. We've waited quite a bit. Let's go on into the first practice test question. This is going to be from the reading section. I know that Fadi has already said that the answer is B according to him, but I want to see you guys throw down what you guys think is the correct answer. Okay? I'm going to be quiet for just a few seconds for the people that are jumping in here that need to read what's on the screen. Kiki also says B. For those of you joining us, we're doing some TEAS 7 practice test questions. And I promise the group that we're going to go over a chemistry cheat sheet in a little bit after we've taken a few questions, and we're going to go over also the A and P diseases that you need to know for your TEAS exam. Do you email these recordings? Yes, we email these recordings, Jasmine, as long as you are on our email list. Can't see the whole question. All right. That should be better. All right, I saw that Kiki said B. There you go. I slid it over. I think you guys should be able to see it. You're welcome. Yes, like Nurse 2B said, we do also put them up on our YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Smart Edition Nursing. We put our TikTok replays on there, but we also have hundreds of other videos for the TEAS exam. Okay, Melly says B. Miss Glam says B. Lex says B. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. We're going over a TEAS reading practice question. And then we're going to do, what kind of question are we going to do next, y'all? Let's see. Oh, we're going to do a science question next, okay? All right, so for all of you who said B, that would be correct. This passage would best be described as a comedic passage. And really, the primary reason for this is just because, first of all, it's silly that she's saying Mr. Snuggles, and then she's looking for him, obviously because she cares about him, but then she calls him a little vermin, which is a very strong adjective to use for something called Mr. Snuggles. And then right away, she goes up and down the street, she's sighing instead of being mad, and she starts going outside with the bowl and the spoon, and then she gets into the car and is looking for him. So even though she might sound like she doesn't like him, it's more so that it's ironic, it's annoyed, right? So for those of us who have pets at home, we can 100% relate. They make us crazy, but we love them anyways. So that is what makes this comedic. The passage is not serious, nor is it formal or emotional. Hi, Alexis. Thanks for following. All right, guys. Let's go on to this TEAS 7 science practice question. Hi, Fifi. Hi, Diamond. Nice to see you again. All right, guys, we're doing some TEAS 7 practice test questions. Okay, I already see the answers flowing through. C, C, C. I see Pepsi. Pepsi works. I see C's. I see C's. Hi, Kristen. Parmarcy C's. I need this emailed to me. Yes, Diamond, we can. We do send it out in an email, and we also put up the TikTok replays on our YouTube channel, Smart Edition Nursing. You can see all of the TikTok replays on there, as well as all of our other videos. Okay, Lex says A. Jasmine says C. Gina says A. And for those of you just joining us, just so you know, I told it to the group a few minutes ago, but we will be going over, after we answer a few practice test questions, we're going to be going over a TEAS 7 chemistry cheat sheet that's going to go over everything that you need to study for your upcoming TEAS exam, everything that you need to know for those 8 scored chemistry questions. We also talked about that our book is now on TikTok Shop. You can get free shipping and 30% off when you buy it on TikTok. All right, Annie says C. Dia says C. Good job, Elena. You're right. Thank you for that explanation. Thank you, love, for the follow. What does the book look like? Okay, I'm going to show you the book one more time. And it's also available on Amazon, but it did just launch on TikTok Shop, and you can get it for 30% off on TikTok with free shipping. It makes it $24. Okay, guys, so for those of you who said the answer is C, you would be correct. I'm going to talk about answer choice A just because I saw a few people throw A down in the comments, so I'm going to quickly go over this question, okay? So the reason why it's C, it's because this is an enzyme that is specifically responsible for breaking down proteins in the stomach. And the way that it works is it breaks down the long chains of amino acids in the proteins into smaller peptides, which can then be further digested, okay? Why is it not A? How many questions are on the real exam? 170 scored real questions on the real thing, Nat. The reason why it's not A, amylase, is that this is also an enzyme, but it breaks down starches, which is like a type of carbohydrate, and it breaks them down into sugars. And you can find it in places like your saliva and also in the pancreas, but it does not break down proteins. Yes, Ja, that's completely correct. And then nobody said B, but we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it anyway. So lactase is an enzyme that breaks down lactose. So that's easy because the two words are very similar to one another. So it is not correct because it does not break down protein, it breaks down lactose. And lastly, D is not correct because it is an enzyme that breaks down basically table sugar into glucose and fructose, and both of those things are sugars. So the only thing that breaks down proteins here is C. Is the test on paper or online? Both. It depends. Some schools do not allow you to take the ATI TEAS exam online through a remote proctor. Some still do. That's something that they launched in 2020. So just check with your school to see what they allow. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to our next question. Everyone's favorite, math. Hi, Hector. Hi, Naomi. Thank you for sharing the live, bringing a friend. I appreciate that. I just followed. I take my TEAS in February. Well, when in February do you take it? February's in like 3 days. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys solve for X. If you're just joining us, hi, C. Hi, Wagner. Wow, Wagner does his math really fast. You guys do math really fast. You guys are always saying that you're worried about the time limit, and I'm so impressed with how quickly you guys can take care of these math problems. Kylie says, I take my TEAS tomorrow. Okay, Kylie, we're all going to send you good energy. Bree says PEMDAS. Kiki says A. Fadi says B. Kristen says A. George says A. Sabrina says A, but please explain. Yes, absolutely. I see some C's. Valeria, when do you think that you're going to retake your TEAS exam? Was it just one particular section that you were struggling with, or was it all 4 sections? Hi, Belle. Hi, Angie. And for those of you joining, we're doing a T7 math practice test question. We are throwing down our answer in the comments, and then we're going to be working through this problem. I will explain it to you step by step. Also, during today's live, we're going to be going over a T7 chemistry cheat sheet, and we're also going to be going over, for those A and P questions, the kind of diseases you need to know for your TEAS exam. And we are celebrating that our book is now on TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is offering 30% off and free shipping. You can also get the book on Amazon, but it's a better deal on TikTok right now. Just saying, y'all. Okay. Hi, Carmel. Thank you for the live, Nurse to Be. Okay, seeing some A's. Amanda says A. All right, guys, so the answer is indeed A. The answer is A. So some people said that we need to solve for X using PEMDAS. So yes, of course, that is exactly how we're going to solve for this. I personally like, everyone knows, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but I saw a better acronym for this that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to put you guys on so you guys can know what I know. But someone once said that PEMDAS, please excuse my dope ass swag. And I was like, that is way better than Aunt Sally. please excuse my dope ass swag. And I will never go back to Aunt Sally after that. All right, so for those of us that wanted me to solve it step by step before we move on to the next question. So we need to solve for x. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to simplify both sides of the equation. So I like to start with the side that doesn't have the variable just because I feel like it. So we're going to keep the parentheses, 8 minus 3, parentheses x, equals 3 times 5. That's 15. Okay. Now you can solve for your parentheses. So 8 minus 3, that's going to be 5. X equals 15. Bree says, I love that. I'm still going to use that now. I'm telling you, the dope ass swag is the way to do it. So how do we get x by itself here? So since we're multiplying, we need to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide this by 5, and we're going to divide this by 5. This is going to cancel each other out. So we're left with x, which is what we are solving for. And then we've got 15 divided by 5 is 3. X equals 3. All right. And I'm just going to give you guys a spoiler alert. I know you guys really love math, and I know you guys are really fanatical about when we do word problems. So in some of our questions today, we're going to do word problems and math problems back to back. I'm going to keep it fresh for you guys. But for now, we're going to do this TEAS 7 English language section. I'm going to take off the page underneath it just to see if that helps you guys see it better. Does that help you guys see it better? Here, what about if I do this? Sorry guys, if you were mid-reading, I know I'm being rude. I'm just taking your paper. All right, that should help. Hi Ash. Hi Blake's mom. We are doing some TEAS 7 practice test questions. Okay, Amanda says better. Okay, sorry guys, forgive me. I know I took it, I flipped it. I feel like reading is the hardest for me. The paragraphs are always so boring. You know, Nicole, I actually think reading is one of the harder sections because it's kind of impossible to study. I mean, you do have to know certain things like the different types of sources, the difference, you know, between tone and genre and mood, all that good stuff. But once you kind of know it, reading is really a skill. So it's not something that you can just memorize. So I agree. It can be a lot trickier than people anticipate. I'm seeing some C's, I'm seeing some D's, I'm seeing some A's. I'm seeing some A's, C's, D's. Oh wow, we've got the entire alphabet. That means that this is a good question. And this is why the English section and the reading section are not to be underestimated. These sections are no joke. They're very, very tricky. There's always 2 good answers, and you always want to pick the best answer out of the 2. Okay, I'm going to be quiet just for a few more moments. My lowest was in English. Yeah, English is really hard. It's really, really tricky. Nurse Tubi says, is there a discount code for the TEAS 7 online course with Smart Edition Academy? There is. You can do the online course on our website for $20 off at checkout. It makes the online course less than $30. Hi, Ivy. We're doing some TEAS 7 practice test questions. I see C. See some D's. D's. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to go over this one because I understand why you guys would have picked D, and I understand why you would have picked C, but Fadi is on a roll, and the correct answer is actually A. The Shanghai Express, for example, was nominated for multiple Academy Awards. Good job, baby girl. The answer is indeed A. So the sentence is asking us, the question is asking us, which sentence below would be the best addition to the paragraph? And the reason why, I'm going to go over it right now. The reason why answer choice A is correct is because it's directly supporting and it's elaborating the topic about Anna May Wong's film career and her accomplishments in Hollywood. So for example, we talk about, she became a star, she overcame racism, she honed her craft. We're talking about all of these things. She starred in some of the most successful films. We're really talking here about her accolade. She starred in a TV show, and then she received a Hollywood star. So because we're talking about her accolades, like all of the things that she is doing, okay, this is all about her success. The best sentence for us to add should be a sentence also about her success, okay? So it wouldn't make sense for us to pivot to B or C because this starts to introduce other people. And while maybe they were there and maybe they helped make the movie or the TV show great, whatever, we're only talking about Miss Anna May Wong, okay? And everything that she specifically has done. So that's why answer choice A is the best answer for this question, okay? So I know that was a really tricky question. It's a great reminder to never take the ELU or the reading section lightly. Megan says you would need background information. Well, she wouldn't necessarily need to know, background information. You just kind of need to look at the information that's being presented and think about like the theme. If you break this down and you don't look at any of these answer choices, if you were to read this, you would say, okay, well, this paragraph is about this lady. She's an Asian American actress, and these are all the really good shows and all the really good things that she's done. So then if I say, okay, well, if I'm writing about something about this lady being successful, and then I only show this, your intuition would tell you that this would be the best fit because this is talking about being nominated for an Academy Award. Shanghai is not where she's from. This is just the name of something she was in. So it says in the paragraph here that she had some of the most successful films of the 1930s, and she was also in a TV show. So it's saying that Shanghai Express is the name of a movie, was nominated for multiple Academy Awards. Yes, so we're going to talk about why D is not correct. So although this sentence does give us some additional information about her career, right? It's talking to us about the people that she co-starred with. So she worked with this guy, Lawrence Oliver, and they're talking about how she was in this play called The Circle of Chalk. This focuses on her working on the stage versus of her career in film, right? Because so far, this whole thing is about the Hollywood, it's about TV shows, it's about films. This one starts to just talk about a play, which is something more theatrical. That's something that you would have on a stage. In addition, it's talking about this other person versus focusing on just her. All right, guys, so I know that was a really, really tricky question. So you always want to make sure that when you're answering these questions that you're clear on what it's asking you, and you want to make sure that you sometimes you have to look at things separately. You have to really get clear on what the question is asking you, what the paragraph or passage is about, and then figure out what is the most fitting additional thing that you can add in there. And for those of you wondering why there seemed to be a reading question on that ELU one really quick, I know that this looked like a reading question, but this was indeed actually an English language usage question. And this specifically was testing you on basically the writing process. So the writing process is going to ask you questions about paragraph structure. It's going to ask you to edit or revise paragraphs. And so that's what kind of category this question would fall under for ELU. All right, I didn't do this on purpose. That's kind of funny. I didn't even realize it, but this is another question, and we're going to be talking about Academy Awards. I promise I did not do that on purpose. Hi, Yuri. Thanks for the follow. Craft says B. Miss Glam says A. Lindsay says B. See some A's, see some B's. And Nikki Poo says B. B. All right, seeing lots of B's. Rika says B. B. If you're just joining us, we're answering some T7 practice questions. We're answering a reading question. We're going to do a math question next. All right, so far I've seen A, B, and C down in the comments. This is a reading question. This is testing you on your knowledge of types of sources. Okay, seeing more B's. Phoenix says B, Cynthia says B. Okay, so for all of the people down in the comments that said it, the answer is B, secondary. So an article that presents basically a review or a person's opinion or a work of literature or movie is considered a secondary resource. So because this is an article about the latest Academy Award nominees, this is something written by a reviewer. So this is somebody who's not necessarily nominated. This is not from an accredited source. It's basically just a person writing their opinion. That is why it is answer choice B. Yes, I can give an example of that, and we'll break down all of these different types of sources. Okay, so just to restate what I was saying here about why it is B, secondary. So the article is written by a Hollywood movie reviewer, right? And they're discussing the nominees. So it's considered secondary because that reviewer is basically evaluating or analyzing information from primary resources. So for example, in this case, the primary resource, it might be like a list from the actual Academy Awards themselves. They normally publish a list of who all was nominated and what categories for what work. That would be the primary source that this person used to create their piece of work. Okay? So that's why this falls under secondary. So again, the primary would be when you are the original first-hand account, or it's something written with direct evidence of the topic. So for example, again, in this example, the official Academy Award nominee announcement, their website posting, their press release, the people who actually nominated and made those choices, they would be primary. C. So the best example that I can give for this is something like, these are typically things that you use for quick references. So this source is something that's like a summary or like a compiled piece of work. So think about things like an encyclopedia, right? Or think about a directory. When you have an encyclopedia, it has a little bit of information on about all of the different things, right? Or if you think about just like a phone directory, right? You open up a yellow book, you're going to have all sorts of information. So, but it's not them themselves writing it, right? It's them taking facts, they're organizing the bodies of work, they're collecting the pictures, they have citations, they're putting the work together and they're organizing it for you in something like a encyclopedia, directory, things like that. Okay. A textbook, yes, a textbook can be considered a tertiary source. Encyclopedias, directories, textbooks, yes, absolutely. You guys are welcome. How are you guys doing? I know these questions are hard tonight. Mountain, there should be a 30% off code. Maybe if you go to our profile and go to our shop link, there should be a 30% off coupon on there. Let me see if I can add it. If you guys give me a second, let's see if I can add it. Cool. All right, I think I was able to add it. Okay. Perfect. Thanks for confirming that you see it. I passed my test thanks to all your videos and your subscription. Oh, yay, I'm so excited. When do you think you're going to hear back from your school? That's awesome. Dono says D. Would you please add it? No, it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. And for those of you, it's also on Amazon, but I believe TikTok Shop, it's a better deal. Like I said, I think it's 30% off on TikTok with free shipping. For those of you who might be looking at it on Amazon, this is the book. You would just put in Smart Edition ATI TEAS, and you should be able to find the book. Interview next Friday. That's so awesome. That was quick. Is the physical book that came out recently the same as the one that came out in 2023? No, just because the T7 came out in 2024 and the T7 has different topics than the T6. So while the T6 still covers things like the A&P and a lot of the similar math, there's going to be some topics that was not previously covered on version 6 that the version 7 book has for the most up-to-date version. Okay. When you're taking the ATI remotely, can they detect the side part of your camera? Yes. And someone actually told me yesterday that they are now asking people to show their ceilings. I don't know what kind of craziness people are doing nowadays that they are like taping things to their ceiling. Like, I would be squinting my eyes. Like, there is no way I could cheat and have it on my ceiling. Like, that just doesn't even make sense to me. But apparently, they make you show under your desk, all around your desk, the room. If they detect that somebody is in the room with you, they can end your exam. They have gotten really, really strict with it. And as a matter of fact, somebody asked about it in the comments earlier. A lot of schools are actually removing the ability to take the test remotely just because there's just like all sorts of craziness that people are trying to pull. So they look at the side, they look at the ceiling, they look at everything. Blooming Soul, you sound like you're up to no good. You just sound like you're about to have somebody like feeding you answers from underneath the desk. I don't know what kind of silliness you're going to have. See, you're laughing because it's true. Bloom and Soul is going to have somebody underneath the desk with a like dry erase board or something. So for the math section, yes, you can have a blank sheet of paper. You will just have to show it on camera that it is blank. Once the tests start, you are free to scribble anything you want on that piece of paper. So what I tell students is before you do the reading section, which is just going to make your brain go to mush, if you have, the opportunity and you have some scratch piece of paper, scribble down those conversions and those formulas that you have memorized and just put it down on your scratch piece of paper. But you have to do it after the test has started, after they have checked that your paper is blank, that it's clean. All right, guys. You took mine last week in Placid. Well, then why are you asking such silly questions about if they can see people hiding on the sides? You're so silly. I got B, I got A for sure. I love it. I love these confident answers. Should I take it for the 4th time? Yeah, I've heard of people taking the TEAS up to 5 or 6 times. They only look at your most recent TEAS score, so there's no shame in taking it for a 4th time. Kylie says A with an exclamation point. I love that. Enthusiasm on that A. Hi, Maxie. We're doing some T7 math questions. I'm about to go over the correct answer here, and then just bought the book on TikTok Shop. The 30% off is helpful. I'm broke. Listen, it's $24.99, okay? I always like to say that we are the best deal in test prep. Stephanie, sometimes check with your advisor. Sometimes, I got too excited. I was tapping and stuff. Some schools, it's only 2 takes per admission period. So just ask. Not every school, but just ask. Wait, it's C. I love Kook Poop. Wait, it's C. C. Yvette says B. Okay. All right. Hi, Julia. All right, guys. So the answer is A. Fadi, you're doing so well. It is A. It is A. And we are going to go over why it is A. Okay? This was a little bit of a tricky question. Not because it's hard, but just because I feel like there's a lot of numbers here and you have to really be clear. See, Yvette says, I see where my mistake is. So you have to read this sentence here. Michelle's monthly receipt totals were, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 consecutive months. I'm not going to lie to you. The first time I did this question, because I do all these questions myself first, okay? I got an answer so crazy, it wasn't any single one of these. And my issue was that I skipped over monthly receipt. Oh, actually, what I did was I skipped this sentence here, and I just added this, and I was timesing it by 12, and I skipped the whole thing, okay? And then I was like, how is my answer so wrong and crazy? And it was because I didn't read it, the whole sentence correctly. So yes, the first thing that we're going to do to solve this problem is we're going to add 315, 275, 190, and 233. Those are the monthly receipt totals for 4 months. So we've got 315, bam, 275, bam, 190, bam, 235. I don't know where she's going to eat because it's expensive out here. Okay, I don't know how many meetings she's having. Or she's taking them to Denny's. I don't know where she's taking these people, but nonetheless, I digress. So in 4 months, she has spent $1,015. The next step, so that's step 1. The next step is you need to calculate the average based on the average, okay, keyword. So how do you calculate the average? Well, you're going to take, there was 4 months. You want to get an average amount, so you need to take this and divide it by 4. So we've got $1,015. Divide that by 4. Okay. And what we get there is $253.75. All right. So I can see how those people that said D, that's because if you answered D, you probably rounded and said, good enough for me. Are we allowed to borrow your brain for the test? They won't know. They might know. Don't think about putting me on your ceiling. So if you said D, you probably rounded this. And like I said, you probably said, and that's because you missed the part where they said within a whole year. If you have done any of my TikTok lives, I don't think I can say it enough. Yes, they provide a calculator, a 4-function basic calculator. Get extremely clear about what it is asking you. Read it twice. If it's going to make the difference between you getting the answer correct and you getting the answer incorrect, you want to get extremely, extremely clear. They're always going to throw in these crazy answer choices that is just going to look right, and they're going to be like, okay, and they're not going to expect you to check your work. So lastly, step 3, because now we need to figure out what should the budget be for the whole year. So this is the average monthly. So we need to multiply that by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So we've got 1253.75 times 12. And that is how we get to the answer of $3,045. Thank you for the follow. Hi, Ricardo. We just went over a T7 math question. Now we're going to do, what are we going to do? We also have our T7 chemistry cheat sheet coming up. All right, guys, remember earlier I said, Lex, that problem that we talked about, it's coming up, okay? Didn't forget about you, babe. Earlier I said that I was going to help you guys out by doing some back-to-bad worth problems. You might not like it now, but you'll like it when you take the TEAS exam and you realize there's like 10 word problems on there. I need to watch the replay. Sabrina, you can go over to our YouTube channel, Smart Edition Nursing. We post the replays the next day. So Sabrina, I know that you have been on the previous TikTok live, so you can see the ones from last week. They're already up there, okay? Oh no, Lex says you're driving home. Okay, well, drive safe. No worries. You can always watch the replay. For those of you joining, if you're wondering where these practice test questions from, they're for the ATI T7 nursing exam. They're coming out of this book, which is now on TikTok Shop. It's also available on Amazon. Hi, Taffy. Thanks for the like. Hi, Mimi. Hi, bébé de amour. Great job, Kiki. Are we expected to know all? What do you mean, Vaja? Are you expected to know all conversions? Yes. You are expected to have all of your conversions memorized. I know that's not what you want me to say, but you do need to have them memorized, and you're going to need to know it anyways when you take med dosage. Is there a discount for the book? I thought I heard it say it was $24.99. It is $24.99. TikTok should be offering you a 30% off coupon. And they should also be offering you free shipping. Okay, I see A's. Thanks, Bree, for the follow. Nurse to be, chime in the comments. Did you have to enter in a code or anything? I'm not sure. On my end, it says there's a 30% off coupon. I would never lie to you guys on purpose. Kira, after we do this practice test question, I will open up the book and I will show you the conversions that you need to have memorized, and you can take a screenshot of it, okay? So just give me a few seconds and then I'll show you the chart that you need to memorize, all right? Okay, so for those of you who are saying the answer is A, you would be correct. The answer is indeed A. Do you guys want me to work out this problem, or do you feel confident about this word problem and this conversion word problem? It says I didn't need a code, it just automatically applied it. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to convert the dosage to grams, okay? So, what's my rule, guys? We're getting clear. So, okay, we're talking about grams of medicine, 2 hours, 3,200 milligrams, okay? So those don't match. We're going to have to convert that, all right? Now I'm clear on what they want me to give. How many times will the nurse give the patient, okay? Always get clear. So, we need to know that 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram. So somebody said King Henry died while drinking chocolate milk. So yes, you can absolutely use that mnemonic to save that. Me personally, I really like to use proportions, just because I feel like sometimes when you use a proportion or a ratio, you can just get the answer quicker. It really just depends. So we know that she is giving 8 grams every 2 hours, okay? So that is what the word problem is giving us, and that's in 1 dose. So now we need to determine the number of doses. So in order to find how many doses are needed to reach basically 3.2, okay? And for those of you wondering, okay, how did you get to 3.2 grams? What you can do is, like I was saying, is you can do a proportion. So I like to do this. I just think that it's easier, and I just think it's simpler. I am somebody who likes to work out the math. So you've got 1,000 over 1, because 1,000 mg equals grams, okay? The problem is telling us that we have 32 milligrams. So I'm just going to put this here so that the units of measure are equal. So you do 3,200 times 1. That's going to be 3,200, and you're going to divide that by 1,000, right? Multiply across and then divide. That's your standard proportion. You're going to get that this is 3.2 grams. Why am I writing slanted? I don't know. I've always written slanted. Thanks for calling me out. Sorry, y'all. I will try to write more straight. So you've got 3.2 grams. That's the total dose. But now it's asking you, how many times will the nurse give the patient medicine? So we know that she is getting 0.8 gram every 2 hours. So we just need to divide this by 0.8 grams, okay? And when you do that, you're going to get the answer 4. Okay. Hi, Jacob. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for joining us. We're just doing some math very casually. How did I get 3.2? So, Lex, what I did is I set up a proportion because I know that 1,000 mg equals 1 gram, okay? And we need to convert 2 grams. I just basically, because that was the unit of measure that we didn't know, I did 1,000 over 1 equals, we know that it's 3,200 mg. I multiplied across, and then I divided on top, and that's how I got 3.2. Okay. All right, Lex. And I know you guys are probably like, who is Lex and why is she talking to her? Why is she so special? Lex is part of our T7 study group, And yesterday I posted a question about chemical solutions that looked kind of like this. And I read the first comment was like, what the hell is this? I think she used more colorful language than that. But we do have a T7 study group over on Facebook, and we do extra practice test questions just like this. So when I saw her comment, I was like, you know what? We're going to do one live. Oh, somebody reminded me of the conversions. Y'all don't forget nothing. Okay. All right. Give me a second. Let me show the conversions like I promised. I'm going to get it out of the book. The book is also on Amazon, guys, and it's also on TikTok Shop. Let's see. But what makes this book really cool is that, like, you see how simple it is? Nobody wants to read a book with font this big, okay, super tiny. Oh, here it is. You just want to get to the good stuff, okay, right? So here's one of the pages. So this book explains everything in a very easy to understand way. It's very simple, but most importantly, it has, I feel like it has exactly what you need to study for the TEAS exam. What exam is this for? This is for the ATI TEAS exam, which is a nursing school entrance exam. Vet techs, dental hygienists, a few other programs also use the ATI TEAS. Can you move it up? Yes. So what I like about our book is that, again, it's really simple to understand. It has what you actually need to study, but in a way that makes this makes you feel like it's simple, right? Like it's easy to understand. There's not a bunch of jargon. It's just very, very simple. Okay. And then you also have hold on, y'all. I have a glass here and I do not want to knock it down. So I'm going to move this over here. Yes, I'm going to do the chemistry cheat sheet. Oh man, we're already at almost 7 o'clock. Y'all, how does this happen? So you are going to also need to know the temperature conversions. You can get this book on TikTok Shop. I believe it's pinned, and we also have it on Amazon. Naomi, it is on TikTok Shop, and then we also have it on Amazon. Okay, guys, so you need to know the temperature conversions. We already had the other one, and let me see. And then you also need these. Okay, take that screenshot. And then one more. Then you need your measurements, your length measurements. Take your screenshot there. Okay, does everybody have those screenshots? Are these conversions in the online course? Yes, they're in the online course as well. The only difference between the book and the online course is that the online course has the app, and it's just more interactive. Everything's in color. It has the flashcards and it has videos, whereas the book is for lack of better words, it's just a book. What page number, please? This is page 93. It's under the section Standards of Measure in the math section. Can you center it? Can you move it to the right? You guys sound like those people that are trying to take a selfie and like look all cute and stuff. But I'd be like that too. I'd be like, hey, you need to make me look good. But, okay. Let me make sure that there wasn't any other conversion charts that I didn't share with you. Let me make sure that everything's here. Yes. All right. Now, we're running low on time, and I did promise the chemistry cheat sheet was next. So let me put that piece of paper. That's all in the book I ordered, yes. All right, guys. All right, let me center it before you guys come for me in the comments, okay? All right. So this is everything you need to study if you are taking the ATI TEAS exam you have to take the science section. So if you're taking the T7 test soon, when you start studying for science, you need to be aware that there are 4 topics or subjects that you will be tested on your TEAS exam. I'm just going to write it here in the corner. It might be slanted. Sorry, you guys. So on your TEAS exam, you're going to have 18 scored questions on A and P. You're going to have 8 scored chemistry sections, chemistry questions. You're going to have 8 scored. I'm going to move my hand in a second. Okay, you guys can look at my arm. And then you're going to have 9 scientific reasoning questions, okay? These are scored. You might get a few extra questions in any given category, but only 8 of them will be scored. And no, they will not tell you if the question is scored or not. Okay, so this is everything that they will test you on when it comes to chemistry. It looks like all the topics I saw in my chemistry course. Yeah, exactly. So the TEAS exam is going to test you on things that you have seen before. If you have taken all of your prerequisites, you have seen this information before. Okay, this is all information that was taught to you in high school chemistry, in addition to any additional chemistry courses that your program probably required you to take. This is all stuff that you've seen before. Okay, has everyone taken their screenshot? The online course is $30 a month. And you can get 20% off the online course when you use code 20OFF. Okay, and like I said, the only difference between the online course and the book is that the online course is in color, you get more practice tests, you get videos, you get flashcards. It's just more interactive, okay? But some people, they really like to have a book. So if you're looking for a book that's easy to understand, that's not overwhelming, this book is a very good choice for you. So we do have it on TikTok Shop. There's a 30% off coupon with free shipping. And there is, we also have it on Amazon. Okay, so you guys have taken the screenshots of that. We have time for one more practice question. So let me actually pull out the chemistry question here that I had. I lost it, y'all. You gotta give me a second. Where is the question? Oh, here it is. Okay. Lex, this one's for you. I know this graph looks familiar to you. I'm going to give you guys a second to look at the graph and to look at the answer options. Okay, the graph was a little bit big, so the answer options are here. Okay, A, B, C, and D. Carmen, we end our lives. We normally go like 5 minutes over, but yes, this is the conclusion of today's live. They normally go for an hour. We do put our lives up on YouTube as a replay, normally the next day. You can go on YouTube and type in Smart Edition Nursing. You can watch our other TikTok replays in addition to the other YouTube videos that we have on there, all about the TEAS 7. We have things like full-length practice test videos. We have videos like where we talk about everything that's on the science section, everything you need to know for A&P, how to create a study plan, what you need to know about taking it remotely. All of that stuff is on our YouTube channel. Kiki says, looking at this is making my head hurt. All right, I see some B's. Where can I find the 30% off code? So I think people are saying that if you just go to the product, that it should just be like there. I know that that is probably the worst way for me to describe it to you, but there should be like a little button that says that you would get 30% off with free shipping. I think it automatically applies. There's not actually a code. How long do I recommend studying for? A lot of that depends. I think the best way to gauge how much time you need is to start by taking a free T7 practice test. We have a free one on our website. You want to take a test because you want to see what the test is like, how it feels like for you, how you do with the timing. At the end of the test, you get a diagnostic report that basically gives you a score, and it tells you section by section, topic by topic, how you did. So what was your percentage on questions on cardiovascular system versus what was your percentage on questions about nouns, right? And you should be able to tell how ready or how much time you need to prepare for the TEAS exam by taking that initial practice test. So if your practice test score is significantly off from what your minimum required score is, I would say give yourself like 6 weeks. It really depends. It also depends like what is your availability like, right? Like, can you only study once or twice a week? Can you study 30 minutes a day? There's just so many variables. I see a lot of talking down in these comments, but I have only seen a few answers. You guys are real quiet, waiting for me to go over this question. Fadi says B for sure. Love the confidence. Alexis, I love it. I don't know. I love the honesty. I'm going to guess B. Lex says B. 22W says B. Confused on this one. Dom says B. We need you to go over it. I'm going to go over it. Vanessa says I'm unsure. Okay, so the answer is B. I don't even understand the question. Well, and to be honest, again, the TEAS is going to ask you questions, and it likes to make things look a little hard, okay? And I'm just going to be honest with you. So when it throws a graph at you, and it's adding in numbers and temperatures and lines and colors, you know, I can see why people are like, whoa, what is this? And they freeze, and it's eating up that time. So we're going to work through this together. It says that if 30 grams of potassium chlorate is added to 100 grams of water at 0 degrees Celsius, some of the solute remains undissolved. What is the minimum, keyword there, temperature that must be obtained to dissolve all of the solitude? This question was on your TEAS exam. See, I'm telling you, our questions out of this book on our online program are very, very similar. Dom Down says they like to add extra fluff to throw you off. 100%. So let's look at this axis. This is our solubility, okay? And these are our temperatures, okay? So we're talking about this element, potassium chlorate, okay? So we're looking at this line, zoop, here, okay? And it wants to know at what minimum temperature that must be obtained to dissolve all of the solute, okay? So what you just need to do is you just need to follow the lines, okay? So if we look at the C, 30%, 30 degrees Celsius, it's not completely dissolved, okay? And then we go up, we go up, we go up, we go up. And when we look at 70 here, we see that there is a threshold where it is not completely dissolved, okay? We're looking at this point right here. If we go beyond that, it's going to be completely saturated. So what you need to do here is you just need to kind of eyeball that this is the minimum, right? Because the question is asking you what is the minimum temperature that must be obtained to dissolve all this. So when you look at 30 grams, right? 30 grams is here. You look over. Okay, so 30 grams. Okay, this isn't. You basically need to go like this. Shoop, 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 shoop. And figure out this point of contact. And we see that it is 70. Okay. So all we needed to do, like I said, is we need to look for the amount of grams, 30 grams. That's what it told us in this question, okay? And then it wants to know what is the minimum temperature that must be obtained? So we just need to be looking at the correct graph, okay? And go like this. How do I know it's 70? So this is 30 grams right here, Mountain. And so I need to look at where this point of contact meets. Okay? And that is how we get 70. Because that is the minimum temperature. All right. All right, guys, I know that I always go over. Let's do one more practice test question, and then we're going to call it a night. Princess says that she takes her TEAS in 2 weeks. So Toe Fitness, the reason why it wouldn't be 80 is because, just going back here for a second, the reason why it wouldn't be 80 is because it's asking you for the minimum. So it wants you to basically, when it's saying the minimum, it wants you to pick the lowest possible option. Fadi says 0. I see 0, I see 1, I see 2. You're welcome. Great question. There's no such thing as stupid questions. We are safe in the comments. I'm so glad to know that that question was on somebody's TEAS exam. We try to make these practice test questions as realistic as possible to the exam so you can be best prepared. That's why we offer you 8 practice tests in the online course. We want you to be taking as many practice test questions and practice tests as you can so you can really gauge how ready you are. So you don't waste your money and you schedule your test when you actually feel ready. Okay, so we're going to talk about adjectives versus adverbs. You said you don't remember the difference, so we'll talk about that. I'm going to just give everyone one more second here. Hi, Candace. Thanks for joining us. We're doing our very last TEAS 7 practice test question for the night. We will have the replay up on YouTube. You can go visit our YouTube channel, Smart Edition Nursing, and watch our TikTok live replays there. Okay, so the correct answer is A, 0. I love this question. You guys had it all up on the map. So what is an adverb? Somebody said, what is an adverb? So I'm just going to put the definition here. Okay, so an adverb is a word that modifies or basically describes more information about either a verb or an adjective, okay? So it is a word that modifies or describes another verb, an adjective, or in some cases, if it's feeling really fancy, another adverb, okay? So what's an example of that? So if I say she runs quickly would be the adverb. Let me put that down. So runs would be the verb. That's the action. She's running. And then quickly, somebody says, is that the action word? Yes. And quickly describes how she is running. How is she running? Quickly. That is your adverb, okay? That is one example. if we want to use an adverb with an adjective, let's look at the pie is very tasty. Okay, since we're talking about pie. Lord, I forgot how to spell tasty. So what is the adjective in this sentence? The adjective is tasty. This word, very, is the adjective because what is it saying? It's very tasty. It's not just tasty, it's very tasty, okay? So an adverb basically adds, modifies, adds additional information to either the adjective or the adverb, okay? And we have to also think an adverb, it kind of sometimes will also answer a question. Like, how did she run? She ran quickly. Okay, well, when do you have to be there? I have to be there quickly. Where and why? Many adverbs also end in ly, not all of them, but most of them. They end in ly, okay? So let's break down this specific sentence, okay? Because remember, the correct answer here is A. It is 0. So your is the progressive pronoun, okay? So it's not your. Then we've got apple pie. This is what's called like a noun phrase. This is kind of the subject of what we're talking about, right? So a person, place, or thing. So this is a thing, apple pie. So this is not the adverb, okay? Is what you call a linking verb. It does sometimes indicate an action, but in this case, it is not. Okay, so this is our linking verb. And now everybody wants to know about the word perfect. So perfect is actually, in this case, an adjective. It is describing, right? So what is an adjective? An adjective describes. What is an adverb? It modifies an existing adjective. So you need an adjective first before you can add an adverb, before you can have an adverb, okay? So the pie being perfect is describing the pie, okay? So that is why perfect is not an adverb itself. Fadi says, the English is not my first language and I learned a lot from you. Thank you. Well, Fadi, English is not my first language either, okay? So I know that you can do it. I know that you are putting in a lot of time and energy by being at all of our TikTok lives, so I appreciate you. Okay, guys, so that's our last question, but I'm going to quickly answer Maya's question. Maya had a question, what are the best study tips for science? Also, guys, really quickly, earlier I mentioned that I would quickly go over the diseases that you need to be familiar with for the questions on A and P. Do you guys still want me to go over that, or should I just put it in the email when I send out the replay? It'll just take 2-3 minutes. You'll just need to, I don't have them written down. I will scribble them down in my beautiful handwriting. You guys can take a screenshot or you can just make a note in your Word doc. Okay, everybody says yes. Okay, perfect. Let me flip over this piece of paper while I am getting myself situated here. Remember, guys, we do have our book. It's on TikTok Shop. As of today, super big, exciting news, okay? You can get 30% off on our book. I believe it's an automatic discount. That's what the students have said, and you get free shipping. In addition, we also have this book on Amazon. So I believe Amazon will still get it to you quicker, if I'm being honest, okay? Okay, and then we do have our TEAS online course. In the course, if you use promo code 20OFF, you get 20% off. Kiki says, can I send it in the email? Yes, Kiki, I can send it in the email. All right, you guys ready for this? So for your A and P questions, remember you're gonna have 18 scored A and P questions, okay? As a recap, because Maya said, how do I prepare for the science section? So the best way, Maya, to be prepared for the science section is you want to make sure that, especially when it comes to A and P, you want to make sure that you know the functions of everything. And you want to make sure that you know the structure, how things are characterized. And you want to make sure that you understand how, I don't care what you're reading about, it could be about fingernails. I want you to make sure that you understand how homeostasis plays a part in it. How does whatever you are reading about help maintain homeostasis? Okay? So when you're thinking about A and P, don't worry about where something is located. You just need to know the functions, the structure, how is it characterized, homeostasis at an absolute minimum. And I'm going to show you an example from the book. It will help you so much if you know those 4 things. So let me crack open this book, not hit over the camera. Let me find an example here from the A and P section really quick. Okay, let me fold this over just so I can give you guys an example of why it's important to know things like function, how things are characterized, structure, all of that. So for example, for the cardiac muscle, right? This muscle contains muscle cells that are striated, short, and branched. So those are characteristics. These cells contain one nucleus. Okay, so now we're still talking about its structure. Need to know that it contains one nucleus. They're branched, okay, and they're rectangular. These are all basically adjectives. These are all describing what the cardiac muscle looks like, right? Must know information on that level. So when you're studying, make sure that you're very clear on the structure. Next, it goes on to say the cardiac muscle contraction is an involuntary process, which is why it is under the control of the autonomic nervous system. The muscle is found in the walls of the heart. So this is basically describing to you what is the function, structure, characteristics, okay? And then it's talking about, you see how it also, even though this is about the muscular system, it's extremely important when you're studying for the TEAS exam that you understand how things work together, how things connect, right? So it's talking about the nervous system, even though we're studying the muscular system. And it's talking about its connection to the autonomic nervous system, to the cardiac muscles. Same thing with the next one, skeletal muscle. How does it look? There's many nuclei in the skeletal muscle cell. What does it do? Oh, and it contracts voluntarily, meaning that it is under conscious control. So this is talking about, again, how it's controlled. This goes back to the nervous system. So you need to make sure that you really, when you're studying, that you really get how everything is connecting together. Always know the function, okay? Function, structure, characteristic, how it plays a role in other parts of the systems in the body, and how it helps maintain homeostasis. Those are like the 5 genres, right, that you need to study, especially when it comes to A and P, okay? All right, I'm digressing. We're way over. Thanks you guys for staying with me. Was that helpful? How I explained that, the most important things to know for A&P? So, for diseases that you need to know for the TEAS exam, I'm going to start by saying that nobody is expecting you to be a doctor, but you will probably see, I'm guessing, like 2 questions that's going to say something like, a patient presents with X, Y, and Z. Yes, there's an online version. Go to our website, smartadditionacademy.com. Use 20 off at checkout, and you can get 20. Ooh, I'm sideways again. Let me stop because you guys come for me in the comments, make me feel bad about myself. Okay. So it's going to have a question on the TEAS that says something like, a patient comes to the hospital and is presenting with 1, 2, and 3. Which of the following diseases may the patient have? So it's very generic, right? And what it's asking you, it's not like going very deep into clinical knowledge, but there are just certain diseases that you should be aware of, how they impact, like basically the symptoms, right? That disease may cause. So some of the ones that you need to be aware of: high blood pressure. So when I say these are diseases you need to be aware of, I want you to know what it impacts, like what system, what body part. Oh God, I'm sideways again. All right, I'm gonna fix it. How do I do this? Did I move my phone? What happened? All right. That's my cat. Everybody says hi to my cat. I want you, when it comes to these diseases, what it impacts, common symptoms. Yes, I know I spelled symptoms wrong. Don't come for me. And what causes it. Just know those 3 basic things: what it impacts, common symptoms, and causes. Okay. I have 3 dogs, Mountain. And Mountain, you and I are not going to get along if you don't like my cat. Okay? My cat is my life. So, you need to know high blood pressure. You need to understand arrhythmias. Okay? And all of these obviously come from the cardiovascular system. You need to be familiar with asthma. You need to be familiar with pneumonia. And then also, one other thing I'm going to add here, number 4, the transmission of these diseases. How does a person get this disease? Okay, because for example, you need to also be familiar with this, and then obviously we know that this is a bacterial infection that infects the lungs, right? So what it impacts, common symptoms, the causes, and how it is transmission. Lena, just so you know, we have a pass guarantee, meaning we guarantee you pass the TEAS. If you don't pass your TEAS exam, we give you 200% of your money back. We absolutely guarantee it. From the digestive system, you need to know about GERD. You need to know your ulcers, right? So you want to know the different types of ulcers, your peptic ulcers, etc. You need to know IBS, okay? You need to know diabetes 1 and 2. All right, I'm with you, Sabrina. Graves' disease. Let me know if I need to slide this piece of paper up. Anything having to do with the thyroid, so whether it's overproduction or underproduction of thyroid hormones, so like hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, let me write that down. Hyperthyroidism, okay. You do want to know HIV/AIDS. You want to, let me see, kidney stones, yes. kidney stones, UTIs. Okay, I'm going to just slide this up. I'm going to center it so you guys can see. Now you do want to know about, now we're going into things that are neurological. Oh, you're also going to need to know chronic kidney disease. And remember, we're talking about what system does it impact, common symptoms, causes, transmission. Those are the 4 things that you need to know about with these diseases, so that way you can answer questions like, patient presents with 1, 2, 3. What was I writing here? I was writing Parkinson's. And then you do need to know cancer. Specifically, you need to be able to answer questions about skin cancer. What causes it, the types of skin cancer. And I think that that's it. You don't need to know anything about like mental health. It's really more so... What do you mean you can't see it? You guys, it's up there. There you go. Is that better? So like I said, you need to know skin cancer very specifically. You will probably get at least 1 question on skin cancer. Not all the different types of cancer, but definitely skin cancer. Okay? Like I said, you don't need to know anything about mental health disorders. You might have a question on like acne, like what causes it. I really wouldn't call that a disease personally, but that is the gist of the questions. That is the gist of the diseases that you might see a question on. So you want to know what system these diseases impact, their common symptoms, what causes these diseases, how they are transmitted. Okay? All right, guys. So we are almost 30 minutes over. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you found value in this. Remember, we do have the T7 online course. The online course, it comes with 8 practice tests, 100 videos, interactive lessons, excellent for visual learners. It also has the study app and flashcards, and you get access to the study group. You can get the online course at smarteditionacademy.com. You can use code 20 off at checkout, and the course is like $30 before you use 20% off. So it is a great deal. We do have our book on Amazon, and we also have our book on TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is offering 30% off our T7 online book, as well as free shipping. If you want to catch the replay, we will be posting the replay tomorrow. We are on YouTube, and it is Smart Edition Nursing. Okay? Ooh, that was a crazy looking N. All right? So we are on YouTube. You can also take a free practice test at smarteditionacademy.com. Free practice test, 20% off the online course, 30% off the book when you go on TikTok Shop. Okay. Not all adverbs end in ly, just most of them. It's a good indicator, but definitely not all. Some of the videos on my chemistry module are not available. Where would I be able to find them? Miss Rue, all of the videos should be on there. If you could please send a chat. If you go to our website, Smart Edition Academy, on the bottom right-hand side, we have a little chat widget thingy. In this sentence, perfect is the adjective, not the adverb. If you go to the chat and just say, I'm having a problem seeing the chemistry videos, we can jump on the chat, look at your account, and help you out, okay? All right, guys. So thank you so much. I think I'm going to eat some Chipotle and drink some water. And yeah, thank you so much. Jenny, the book is, I believe it's $30.99. I might be wrong. Kylie, you're welcome. Good luck on your test, Kylie. You guys are very welcome. I'll see you guys next week. And if you join our T7 online course, like I said, you'll have access to our study group. We're in the study group every day doing practice test questions, and we're there to help you guys out. I'll be back on Monday to tell you how I do tomorrow. Perfect. I love that, Kylie. Thank you so much for thinking of us. I'm sending you good vibes and energy. Don't be up all night on TikTok scrolling. Get yourself some good sleep and chill, okay? Don't be on TikTok all night. All right, guys. Have a very, very good night. Called you out only because I care and I want you to do well. It's coming from a place of love. Okay. Bye, you guys.